get an answer. I don't know.
I have no clue. All right, let's get a clue in 3, 2.
Sorry.
Hey, that's what I expect. I said 3, 2. I expect either you start guzzling water or you start gagging. One of the two is going to happen.
Well,
Either that or you're going to ask everybody to have a quickie. I never know. I don't have a clue.
Everybody, welcome to A Quickie with Ms. B. Today is Friday. It's Fabulous Friday, all day and half the night long.
Never going to know what happens the other half, but I guess I'll never find out.
Well, come on. I mean, who puts a scarf on a
Okay.
chicken?
See the size of that chicken?
Just see the things that we talk about in between doing our recordings. Sorry. All right. So today is Friday.
Oh my God! You actually welcome to Friday. I'm going to say 3 words and then look down so I can figure out what day it is. How do you do that?
I'm still stuck on the clocks. Anyway.
Oh, what are you talking about?
The roosters. Who puts a scarf on a rooster?
Oh my!
It's just wrong.
If someone will stop by my house and stick something in my heart, I'd appreciate it, please.
All this week we're talking about got that wrong, and that's wrong. You shouldn't be putting a scarf on a rooster. AKA cock. Today we're going to talk about Mall Chronicles.
Yes. Yeah.
Mall Chronicles. There's a lot that can go wrong in the mall.
Yeah. Especially when you see that Santa. Do you remember that Santa display that was in the mall? Where the girls were reindeers? And nobody thought this was wrong? Santa in a sleigh with 8 tiny gals, all dressed in tights, one pieces, with antlers on. They had all been selected specifically for special traits. And each one had a name right in the special trait area. And I walk by and I literally stop and I go, wait a minute. Whose idea was this?
They put their name across their tatas?
Yes.
What?
Dasher,
That's just wrong.
Prancer, Vixen, Cupid, Comet. But the whole thing was, I guess it's, everything about it was weird. It was like, so how does a guy read the name of that deer? He has to bend down and it's like, but why are the chicks on all 4s? Hold on. Somebody thought this was a good idea? Whose idea was this?
That's so wrong.
You're like, well, wait, stop. This had to be approved by somebody. Somebody signed a paper and went, no, that's a great idea. Yeah, sure, no problem. Let the kids sit on Santa's lap. What are they looking at? Mom? On all 4s? Hi, Santa. My mom's Comet. Is that your mom? Hi, Mom. I can't see her so well, son. She's kind of like facing us the wrong way. Dear Santa, you see that butt? That's my mom's. You know, I mean, Christine, I couldn't believe it. They literally had the ladies as the reindeers. And you're like, wow. Okay. So whoever approved this is new. Please tell me they're new.
They ain't got a clue.
I mean, we couldn't find any. The word I got was we couldn't find any of the reindeer. So they thought, how cute would it be if we just had ladies? And you're like, you could sell that if they weren't all the same size, number one.
Yeah.
Well, they're not. They're all the same size. I can see. I have eyes. Okay. So, yeah. The one size fits all, that's not working. Okay. And they all are way over makeuped. Okay. Which means we're trying to do a special attraction here. And why are they wearing dog collars with leashes all going to one thing, and Santa's holding it. All of this, you guys, all of this is a whole lot of mistakes that somebody's going to have to answer for soon. Trust me, I'm not complaining, but I'm telling you, there will be those who will come after me who will complain. All of these ideas, you're going to have to explain. Well, why does Mrs. Johnson have a dog collar on? We couldn't find a harness. Why would you need a harness? She's a reindeer. She's pulling the sleigh. It looks like she's a dog and you're taking her for a walk, Santa. Why is Santa holding 8 reins? Or leashes, as I like to call them. Don't even pretend, Santa. Those aren't reins. There's only 2 reins, and you've got 8 leashes.
Welcome to Santa's 50 Shades of Grey.
Christine, oh my! You're just standing there, and there's women walking up, going, "Is that Kathy?" You're hearing this, going, "Oh my God, is that Kathy? Kathy, hi, hi." They hear, "Hi, Henrietta." You're like, "Why is she wearing a collar? And why does she have a lead? Is that Bob? Why has Bob got Kathy on a lead? Oh my God, where's my daughter? Where's my daughter?" And you're like, it's already going so wrong, Christine. So wrong. And the day's just started. I'm one of the vendors in the mall. And I'm walking around going, really? Please tell me the name of the idiot that thought this was okay. Ho, ho, ho. This is a friggin' mall. Okay? It's Christmas time, and there's a dude with 8 dudettes on leashes. And they're all wearing one pieces that are a little too tight, a little too low cut, with a name of each one of the reindeer across their tatas, and they all have the same size tatas. So there was no criteria.
Yeah,
Really?
It was Santa Claus's ho ho ho.
Yeah, it was too. And when that Santa looked at you and he was all jolly, he was jolly.
Oh, I'm sure he was. Because he was getting the best.
What are you looking at now?
Pecker's back.
Oh, my word.
I'm sorry, the woodpecker. He's back.
Tell me he's not wearing a scarf.
No, that's just for the chickens.
Wow. Rooster chickens with scarves and squirrels and 8 tiny ho-ho-hos hooked up. I will never forget that, Christine. That was, I remember walking down to the mall office, and the secretary was there. I said, can you come with me for a minute? Sure, what's that? I said, this is a big problem. She went, what's wrong? I went, you're going to need to see this. Like, why? I said, because I work here in the mall too. I have the giant store. You know, the one that's one of your anchor stores, which means like, there's Sears, there's Macy's, there's my company. Anchor store. One of the few stores you can get to the outside from my store, get to the inside from my store. An anchor store? Yeah. I'm not happy about this. I need you to see this. She's like, what, is something broken? Oh, it's broken. It's really broken. She comes walking up and went, are you ready? Yeah. Look, 8 chicks on leashes. And she looks down. At first, she's like, well, what's that? Oh, my God. Christine, I'm telling you, she went, oh, my God. I was like, yeah, there's not a whole lot stuffed in there, is there? They're almost hanging out. It's like, she's like, oh, my God. She hadn't seen that. She'd seen the leashes. I'm like, I said, then I go, wait till you see where they put the name tags. Once again, she's, oh, my God. I'm like, yeah. What happens if the kids want to know who that one is? You have to bend over and go, where's the name tag? On the bottom of those, son. Look on the bottom of those. Oh, I see. Well, what's her name, Dad? I don't know. I haven't got to the bottom of those yet. I'm like, and she's like, was it the third time she went, oh my God, I went, now why is she on all fours? oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, it's getting worse. And I went, does it seem like it's an emergency yet? She's like, hold on. Okay, all right, stop this. Just you ate. Stand up. And they all stood up. I was like, okay, I guess I got this in the good hands. Okay. I don't want my customers walking by go, excuse me, what? Did you see? Yeah, yeah.
You see Santa's ho.
Christine, who in their right mind? Who? We couldn't get the excuse I heard was there was no reindeer to be found anywhere. Okay, so you thought you'd jam plastic reindeer horns on the girls, have them put on extremely tight one-piecers, write their names across their tatas, and have them bend over after you ensured the V-cut was really a low V.
Oh, say no to Santa's ho. We gotta go. Take a break. Hi everybody, welcome back to Cookie with Miss B. I'm Miss B. Today is Friday, Fabulous Friday. If you missed the first half of the episode, enter at your own risk.
Wait, ho 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 and dumbass holding the leash. Eight leashes to be exact. Wait, and there's another dumbass, the one who signed the approval. Wait, and a third dumbass, the one who came up with the idea.
If you're wondering what we're talking about, you need to go back and listen to the first half of the episode. And as always, thanks for joining us and listening to our episodes daily.
Isn't it awesome? We call them episodes. We register them as episodes because every time we get together, we have an episode.
I'm thinking that's where that word episode originated from.
It must have.
Because you're having one.
Are you having an episode? Yeah, film it. Please.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's hear some of the mall chronicles you've had, because that was just, it was not normal. That was a.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one was kind of like me being curious. Because, you know me, I ask questions as to why and how all the time.
Really? You always, I've told people before, she thinks I'm the smartest person on the earth. I go, why? Because you should hear the crap she asks me.
Well, usually you have a smart aleck answer for it. That's why I ask.
Do worms hibernate? What? Do they go south for the winter? Worms? What?
No,
do worms migrate? I don't know. Why would you ask me?
Makes you kind of wonder, though, what do they eat? Anyways.
See? That's the stuff she asks me.
I said it makes you wonder, what do they eat? Do worms really eat? I don't know. I don't fish fart.
Oh my God.
And they burp. Okay.
Did any of those things happen in a mall?
Nope. Off topic.
Well,
it was kind of off topic, but not off topic. Kind of yes and no, off topic, and yes.
How did you get a fish fart as part of a mall show?
Well, because I said, you know me, I'm always asking questions. So I'm technically not really getting off topic because I'm giving an example of how I'm asking questions, which I just did. Ta-da! See how that all fits together?
No, I don't. But you're a girl. You always make sure you pretend that you see how it fits together.
Anyways, so, this one time I'm at the mall. I'm with one of my stepdaughters. I don't really recall which one. I think it was Sam.
What's a stepdadder?
Stepdaughters. I said daughters.
You said dadder. Do you want the goat? Do you want the goat?
I didn't say daughters. I said daughters.
Okay, goat it is. You just wait.
Not funny. That's so bad. Anyway, so we're at the mall. We're going to this one store. Now, this particular store is called Hot Topic. Let me describe a
Oh
little bit about Hot Topic for you.
no.
You know which one I'm talking about, where it's all has this
They
like,
tried to get me to go in there, and I was afraid because the name Hot Topic and the music was playing. There were smells coming out of the door. I was like, I'm not going in there.
it has all kinds of weird clothing and jewelry and
What's the smell? Why are there smells coming out of the door?
well, because I think some of them have some kind of like incense. Is that what that's called?
I saw vapors and like
Mm-hmm.
you smell. You're
All
like,
kinds.
I'm afraid to walk in there.
So what Sam used to like to go there to shop for clothes because there was always like this line of clothes that she just absolutely loved when she was a teenager. So one day, and we go and we're walking around, and of course, music is blaring, and these clothes are kind of weird, but whatever. I'm just kind of like, well, I'll work with it. So she's gone off looking at this, that, and the other thing, finds a bunch of stuff that she wants to get. We're making our purchase. Go to the counter, and I notice that this girl that's checking us out, you know those like rings that they put in their ears, and it stretches, and they can get bigger and
Yeah,
bigger.
yeah. I call them
That's
basketball. I call them basketball hoops because they get
that's
them big enough
actually
to toss them.
well, yeah. I mean, and that actually originated from Africa. There's an African tribe that actually does this. So we were talking about this, and I'm telling the girl behind the counter about these African tribe. This is what they do. Blah 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 blah. I said, "Gosh," I said, "Can I ask a question?" She's like, "What?" I go, "What do you do in the winter?" I mean, because she had these like metal ones that were in her ears that she was stretching out, and they were huge loops. She says, "Oh, I just take those out." She says, "I just take those out and I put them in my pocket." And she says, "And then I just put my hat on." And I said, "Yeah, but your ear, it's got to be like dangling because like it's all stretched out." I said, "What do you do? I mean, how do you cover your earlobe, which is the part that's now stretched out?" She goes, "Oh, I do this." She literally, John, she took her earlobe, which is hanging down halfway down her neck,
Yeah.
and wrapped it around her ears. And then proceeded to put her hat on and said, "See, this is how I keep warm."
Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you throw them around your ear?
I said, "Oh my God." I go, "That's just crazy and amazing at the same time." Sam's like, "Could you stop? We need to leave." Sam's like so embarrassed at this point in time. I honestly think that was the last time she ever took me in the store because she was scared that I was going to start asking people all kinds of strange questions about their earlobes getting stretched and piercings and tattoos and all that jazz. Because I would, and I do. I don't care.
You're like my friend Rula. She's from Lebanon, and she's too honest and way too inquisitive. Rula, I hope you hear this. I love you, sweetheart, but way too inquisitive. We at my place of business prior, we would do weddings,
Yeah,
and when you go to put things in, it says put in the groom's name, put in the bride's name.
yeah.
Well, years go by, and now it's bride, bride, groom, groom.
Mhm. Right.
And she sees two ladies up there, and she's like, "I wonder if they are." I'm like, "Don't, please, oh God, please don't." She's like, "No, John, I have a serious question. I need to know." I'm like, "No, oh, do not, don't. If you want to know something, it's better to ask the people. Though, for the love of God, don't say to people who know." Well, they are the people. She literally pulls away, and I either have to tackle a grown woman in a mall or let this play out. She literally wants to do, "Hello, my name is Rula." She tells him her whole name. "I work at so and so. We do weddings. A lot of things have changed, so I don't know how to ask certain things." I'm like, "Oh my God, she's going to actually do this." And she goes, "So you're lesbians, right?" She's just like, literally, they could be sisters. What if they're sisters? What if it's a mother and her daughter? What if it's two ladies who go, "This is my best friend, Tanya." Yeah. There's just so many possibilities. Why did you go, boom, lesbian? I mean, And she wasn't. You're lesbians, right? The lady looks right at her and goes, yes. I'm like, oh, wow. Well, at least she's not getting punched so far. She's like, I work at blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, great. Now we've been identified. That's awesome. And of course, then she points at me. I'm here with my boss. I'm not involved. I'm not in. I'm looking at people going, I don't even know who this crazy chick is. And she introduces me as her boss and identifies where I work at. You know where it is, right down there. I'm like, oh my God. She goes, if you ever want to get married, we have great. I'm like, oh, please stop advertising. Oh, God. She's like, but I have a question. When we put it in the computer, it says bride and groom. Is it wrong for me to ask which one of you is the groom? She's like, yes. But it only has place for a bride and a groom. Does somebody play the groom? She's like, no, I'm a bride. And she's a bride. Yeah, but it doesn't say bride. It says bride and groom. So how do I know? She's like, it's bride and a bride or groom and a groom. No. The paperwork says bride and groom, and the computer will only let you put in a bride and a groom. She's like, yeah, well, what you do is you change the paper and you write bride, and the computer, wherever it says groom, you just pick a name and stick it in there. Because I'm sure they don't object to having the groom called Kathy. She's like, well, I've done that before, but how do I know how to ask you? Is it okay to say which one of you is the groom? No. She's like, well, that doesn't help me much. She's like, are we done? I'm like, oh, we're done. We are so done right now. She's like, well, she didn't help me. And oh my God. Now she's complaining. She didn't get helped. I thought for sure she would know. Oh my God. We'll be closing our store next week permanently. Thank you. No, I love her to death, but she would get honest sometimes. And you're like, oh God. Oh no. No, don't be honest. No. Nobody wants to hear honesty. Trust me.
And on that note, we really have to go honest. We do.